Hey everybody, it's Stefan here on Genderqueer Chat. This week, the topic is gender and language. We're talking about if we speak any other languages and if there's gender-neutral options in other languages potentially. So for me, I speak like a tiny bit of Spanish, but as far as fluency, I don't speak any other languages than English. And I don't know, if anything, I found other languages more gendered because, like, even objects and things have, an article in front of them that's either like, L for the masculine or la for the feminine. I have a really interesting story to share with you all. I volunteer at a park. Basically, it's kind of like a garden, outdoor experience, the desert thing. It's called Tohono Chul Park. And you could look it up online or whatever, but it's really nice. It's kind of in the middle of the city, but it's, a preserved area and things like that. And so I give tours and stuff and help out with special events. So I recently volunteered to dress up as Frosty for their holiday party. So I have this huge snowman outfit on, and I you can't tell who I am. You can't really tell my height that well because there's like a hat thing on it, and I don't talk. One of the things is that, like, they didn't really want you to talk because then the kids are like, oh well, that's not Frosty. That's not what he sounds like or whatever. So all I did was stand around and like do little motions and hand out candy to the kids. So as far as I was concerned, I didn't even think about gender being an issue at all. And so I was kind of a little bit interested when people were like, oh look, it's a snowman or a snow woman. And so I was like, oh well, that's interesting. They're just being respectful of the fact that the person in the outfit may or may not be a man, even though Frosty is traditionally a snowman. So I didn't think anything of it at first. I was just like, oh well, that's cool. They're trying to be respectful of the gender of the person in the suit. But then it just got weirder and weirder. Everybody just thought that they could guess whether I was a guy or a girl. And so people would make comments. They'll just be like, I don't know, like as they're leaving, they're like, oh, well, that was totally a girl or something. I'm like, well, what would give you that idea? Because I'm not saying anything. And I mean, you don't know how old I am, so like height doesn't really, play into that. I don't know. I have no idea how people come to these conclusions. And I don't know. Also, like, I don't talk, but I can hear you. People tend to forget that a lot, I guess. But there's this one lady in particular. Her little group of friends came up, and they were all like, oh, are you a snowman or a snow woman? And I was like, I don't know. I just shrugged my shoulders because I wasn't supposed to say anything, and I didn't know what to say, and I didn't really think that it mattered at all. And then one of the people was like, oh, well, snow person then. And I'd give them the thumbs up sign. And so they're like, okay, cool. And then they wanted a picture. So I was like, okay. And so they all came over. And this one lady, gets up next to me and is in the picture. And she goes, oh, I know you're a lady. And I'm just standing there thinking, I'm like, well, number one, like, who even asked you? And number two, why does it matter? It's snow. And well, I don't know. I have no idea how people can come to these conclusions. So they're taking the picture, and I have like a minute to think about this. And so then, as they're leaving, I decide to say something just to fuck with her a little bit. And so I was like, have a good night, in my low voice. And so she turns over to me like with this like shocked look on her face. She's like, I guess Frosty does talk, as she walks away from me. And of course, my partner Rachel is sitting near me because she was my assistant. And she goes over to Rachel and is like, oh, is the snowman your friend? And she goes, yeah, they're my partner. And she goes like, oh, partner. And, reading Rachel as a girl, and then Rachel goes ahead and was like, yeah, he blah 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 blah, and so she was so confused, and I loved it. But anyway, so I posted about this on Facebook, and so I was like, who really cares about the gender of Snow anyway? And does Snow even have a gender? And I got a response from at least 2 different people talking about that Snow is actually feminine in the Spanish and the French language. So I didn't know that, and it's very interesting. So I don't know, that was kind of off topic, but I thought it was an interesting story to share with you all since it was genderific. And then last week's topic, which I missed due to some technical difficulties, was about our pets. And I've had a lot of different pets during my life because I grew up on the farm. So, we had sheep and horses and chickens and cats and dogs, and we had a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig at one point. And so, I'm pretty comfortable with animals. We had rabbits. I used to show rabbits at 4-H shows. So yeah, I like smaller animals, and I'm more of a cat person than a dog person. So right now, my partner and I have a little fluffy black cat named Cricket. We adopted her from the shelter about a year ago when we moved out here, and she was completely shy when we first met her. We went to the shelter looking for this other particular cat that we had seen the time before, and that cat had already been adopted earlier that day. So we were just looking around, and this little cat catches the corner of our eyes, and Rachel goes over and she comes out and purrs a little and makes a meow sound, this little meow meow meow. And of course the shelter person is like, oh, she never does that with anybody. Oh, awesome. And so we're like, okay, well she has to come home with us. So we totally got suckered. But she's actually turned out to be really awesome. They said she was about 2, but we're guessing she's probably more like 4 or 5 because she's, kind of an older kitty. But she still plays and stuff when we're not looking. She hid under the couch. Well, not the couch. We didn't have a couch. The bed. No, we didn't. Under the dresser, I guess, is where she hid for most of the time, or in the bookshelves. For the past, 9 months or something. And only recently started letting us go over and pet her whenever we want. So she still won't let us pick her up. The only time she's ever let us pick her up was when she first got back from the shelter, and she was so scared that she couldn't even move. But yeah, she generally likes to keep to herself, and she's taken to trying to sleep on our heads in the middle of the night and purr on our brains. So that's kind of odd, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it's definitely, better than her hiding all the time and being scared. So I'm really glad that she's comfortable and that we gave her a better home than when she was at the shelter. So anyways, she's, even though she's a little bit better, she's still really hard to catch on camera. So I'll just post a couple of pictures right now, I guess, because I don't really have anything else to say. So I look forward to seeing everybody else's videos, and hopefully we can get some more international perspectives or different language experiences. And so I will see you all later. All right, bye.